Hypocrites. That's what I call a lot of the women who be trolling these websites. I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying all black women when I make a statement. Hypocrites. That's what I call the women who always seem to see something that they say doesn't apply to them, and then they want to go in and bash other people, saying that you're self-hating, like you can't have your own opinion or see things in the world through a different lens. And if you do, you're self-hating, ignorant, or they want to use words to insult you and your intelligence. Well, hypocrites is what I call them. What's going on, y'all? This your boy, Shaw, a.k.a. Shaw the Barber, a.k.a. Skilled Hands at Work. And we here to talk about hypocrites. And what I mean by that is this. I always hear women saying how men are dogs, how men are worthless. And I'm just saying men just because I want to be vague, but I'm going to go in and be very specific. Black women. I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying all black women when I make a statement saying that black men are dogs, that black men ain't no good. Let me explain something. When you are a child and all you hear is how worthless your father was or your father is and how much you are just like them. And when I'm saying that, this is what I mean. I hear women today telling their children, you ain't no good just like your daddy. You get on my nerves, you act just like your daddy. Your daddy ain't no good, you ain't gonna be no good. When you're growing up and you hear someone say that you're gonna be worthless or you're not gonna be any good, and the people who you have in your life as your role models, you hear people saying how they're no good or they're worthless, that gets into your mindset. Women, if you want to know why a black man comes and speaks out about the interaction that he might have with black women, if you want to call him self-hating because he has an opinion that you don't agree with, that doesn't make you right, and that doesn't make them self-hating. I don't hate my own race. I do videos because I want to bring awareness to my race. I think that black women are the best thing that ever touched down on this earth. But the attitudes of black women sometimes can be a little bit much. And you want to get mad because a black man says something negative about a black woman. But every single day, a black woman is saying something negative about a black man. I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying all black women when I make a statement. You at least have the ability to stop this video at any time you like. I read an interesting post today. It said, women sleep with who they want. Men sleep with who they can. That means you allow a man to sleep with you. And so if you have a deadbeat dad, if you have a baby daddy who ain't no good, think about this. You chose him. This was your choice. You didn't screen the man in your life well enough before you laid down with them. You didn't find out the character of that man before you conceived a child with him. And then you walk around and you say how the father of that child ain't no good. Well, the father of that child that ain't no good, he wasn't looking for a commitment. He was sleeping with who he could while you were sleeping with who you wanted to. It's up to you being able to choose who you sleep with to be a better judge of character, to do a little better screening process on the men that you choose to lay down with. I heard what women said about the men that were around as I was growing up. And I know that the men that were around when I was growing up wasn't perfect. They're human. Nobody's perfect. As a people, we need to learn how to take responsibility for our actions, not blaming everybody else for everything that's going wrong in our lives. Have we ever stopped and looked in the mirror and just realized that some of the problems that we have, maybe we created for ourselves? If the man in your life or the man that was in your life is no good, don't downplay him to the child because you want the child to hate the man the same way you do. I've heard how black men were worthless my whole life. I still hear it today. I'm not trying to tear down black women. I'm trying to wake you up. You have more control of your situations than you understand, and yet you fail to realize the control that you have. See, the problem is, and it's not just a black problem, it might just be a woman problem. And I'm not saying all women, but too many women think with their emotions. I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying all black women when I make a statement. Your heart is not made for thinking. Your brain is. Detach yourself from your emotions while you're picking the man that you choose to lay down with. You have the control over whether you have a baby daddy or not. You can't make that decision after the child is in the picture. You have to do a little bit of thinking prior to laying in the bed with him. And that deadbeat would not be your deadbeat. That no good man, that dog, is getting old. And when a man stands up and says something that's different than what the world has been saying, you want to go in on him and call him all outside his name. All these posts on Instagram talking about how black men are kings and black women are queens. It's nice when you put it on a post, but a lot of us ain't living it. I'm not calling myself a king. I'm calling myself a man. That's what I am. Kings rule. We're not ruling. I'm not here trying to stand up for all black men. By no means am I doing that. Because there are some black men out there that ain't no good. But guess what? It's black women out there that ain't no good either. If you're not one of those women, don't act out. Don't get mad. Understand that just because you're not one of them doesn't mean that they don't exist. Some of you women, and I want to emphasize the some because some of you can't hear correctly. I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying all black women when I make a statement. Some of you women are hypocrites. Nobody likes hypocrites. If you think that black men are no good, or men in general are no good, and you are willing to make those statements about how black men are no good, well, let me just tell you this. If I make a comment about how I feel about women or black women, I'm not talking about all, but if it applies to you, I hope that you hear it. If it doesn't apply to you, I hope that you can understand that you are not who I was talking to. But if you're telling your kids or other women about how you were mistreated and men are dogs and you can't stand them and all these little things you're seeing on TV, if you buy into that and then you criticize me for what I say, you're a hypocrite. I'm not here to defend all men. I'm here to defend good men. Because when you say all, you put me in the category. And I know a lot of good men. I see them every single day. And I want to make it clear. Even men who you criticize negatively, we're only human. We make mistakes. We're bound to make mistakes. You can't lump everybody together or every action together. And both men and women, we need to take responsibility for our actions. So like I said, hypocrites. I can't stand hypocrites. This your boy, Shaw, a.k.a. Shaw the Barber, a.k.a. Skilled Hands at Work. And we signing out.